Long ago, before anyone ever said the word France, this land was covered in huge forests, wide rivers, and quiet hills. People lived in small villages made of wood and thatched roofs. They hunted animals, fished in clear streams, and grew their own food. Life was simple, but every day required bravery and hard work. Long before this time, the powerful Roman Empire had ruled these lands. They built strong roads, bridges, and stone buildings. Now the Romans were gone, but their old ruins still stood, reminding everyone of a great world that once existed. Different tribes lived across the land. The Gauls lived in the forests and hills, farming and celebrating nature. The Burgundians built busy villages along rivers and traded goods. Farther north were the Franks, strong, determined warriors who wanted to unite the land. Everyday life was filled with routines. Children helped gather food or played by the river. Women tended crops and animals. Men trained with spears and shields to protect their homes. People told stories at night around warm fires, stories of heroes, spirits, and adventures. Merchants traveled on old Roman roads carrying salt, wine, and pottery. Travelers shared news and ideas. Even though the tribes lived separately, they slowly began connecting through trade, stories, and friendships. Shrines and sacred places dotted the land. People prayed to nature and the spirits they believed guided their world. Slowly, a feeling of unity began to grow. Among the tribes, the Franks were rising. They were brave, organized, and eager to lead. They would one day shape the land into a kingdom we now know as France. And so, our story begins, with the land, the people, and the simple rhythms of life. This is the beginning of France, a place full of promise, courage, and dreams. In the land of the Franks, a young boy named Clovis grew up learning how to lead. He practiced with wooden swords, watched warriors train, and listened to village elders speak about bravery and honor. As Clovis grew older, he became strong and clever. He wanted to bring the many Frankish tribes together, something no one had ever done before. Some leaders wanted to join him, others did not. Clovis talked to them, made promises, formed friendships, and when needed, fought bravely. Slowly, he united the Franks under one rule. Then Clovis made a decision that changed history. He chose to become a Christian. He was baptized in a quiet river with sunlight shining on the water. This helped unite his people and connected his kingdom with other Christian lands across Europe. Clovis worked hard to guide his people. He built trust, repaired roads, and strengthened villages. Children grew up hearing his name. Elders praised his courage. Warriors followed him proudly. Clovis was not perfect, but he was determined. Through courage and wise choices, he became the first true king of the Franks, and his actions set the foundation for the France we know today. After Clovis, his family, the Merovingians, ruled the land. They were called the long-haired kings because their hair symbolized their power. Cutting a king's hair meant he could no longer rule. Some Merovingian kings were wise and strong. Others enjoyed feasts, music, and luxury more than ruling. Still, life continued to grow and change. Villages turned into towns. Markets filled with traders selling salt, honey, wool, and metal tools. Children played in the streets. Farmers worked from sunrise to sunset. But there were also problems. Princes fought each other. Nobles argued about land. Sometimes battles broke out. Despite this, the people stayed strong. They built homes, celebrated festivals, and helped each other. Churches became important places. Monks copied books by hand, kept knowledge alive, and taught children religion, guided people's lives, and stories spread across villages. Even though the Merovingians had difficulties, they helped keep the kingdom alive. Their rule created the path that would soon lead to new leaders and even greater changes. During the Merovingian times, the kingdom faced danger. Other tribes and armies threatened the land. But then a powerful leader appeared, Charles Martel, also known as the Hammer. Charles was brave, wise, and skilled in battle. His most famous battle was the Battle of Tours, where he stopped an invading army from the south. His victory protected the kingdom and saved its culture and beliefs. But Charles did more than fight. He strengthened villages, supported churches, and built alliances. He helped make the kingdom stronger and safer. Charles's family, the Carolingians, began to rise. His grandson would become one of the greatest rulers of all time, Charlemagne. Through courage and leadership, Charles Martel prepared the kingdom for a new age. Charlemagne, the grandson of Charles Martel, became a legendary ruler. He wanted his people to be strong, not just in battle, but in knowledge. He invited teachers and scholars to his court. He built schools where children learned to read and write. Monks copied books by candlelight, saving knowledge for the future. Art and learning flourished. Charlemagne was also a great warrior. He protected his land and expanded it, creating a huge empire. Roads were fixed, trade grew, and villages became thriving towns. Then on Christmas Day in the year 800, something extraordinary happened. In Rome, the Pope placed a crown on Charlemagne's head and named him Emperor of the Romans. The most powerful title in the West. People celebrated his leadership. Songs and stories were told about him. Under Charlemagne, the kingdom became an empire of learning, culture, and unity. His ideas helped shape the Europe we know today. After Charlemagne, many rulers came and went. The Capetians, the Valois, and the Bourbons each shaped the kingdom in their own way. Castles rose on hilltops, towns grew, cathedrals climbed toward the sky. Life in medieval France was a mix of joy and difficulty. Farmers worked hard. Craftsmen built tools, furniture, and beautiful artwork. Merchants traveled from town to town. Children played in the streets and learned from their elders. There were also challenges. Wars, sickness, and hunger sometimes struck the land. But French people were strong. They rebuilt, helped one another, and continued celebrating life through music, festivals, and traditions. Faith was important. Churches and cathedrals guided communities. Monks and priests taught, wrote books, and supported the people. Many of the buildings created during this time still stand today. Slowly, the kingdom grew into a nation, a place filled with culture, ideas, and dreams. By the time the Republic was ready to rise, France had become a land known across the world for its courage, creativity, and spirit. From simple villages to grand cities, this is the story of France before the Republic. A story of people who worked, dreamed, and built a civilization that still inspires the world. Thank you for watching this journey through the early history of France. From forests and tribes to kings, battles, and great empires. This is only the beginning. Join us in episode 2 as we continue exploring the amazing story of France. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to keep the adventure going. History is full of wonders, and your journey has just begun.